It's Sunday, the 17th of July 2016. This is a chart update for Doray Minerals. Doray's continued its really solid uptrend at the start of 2016, broken out to sort of 3 or 4 year highs, and then slight pullback the last couple of days of the week as the gold price sort of pulled back as well. So I think it's really looking really healthy. Um, hasn't had that real sort of speculative boom and the really consistent volumes. I think it's not probably not as on the radar as many of the gold stocks. I did a video for Silver Lake today, and I know there's a lot more interest on that in that stock than there is in Doray from the speculative crowd, and that's fine. I think Doray's really more of a long-term sort of institutional play. I think and you've seen that with Hunter Hall buying a lot of shares here. So you don't get those. You're not getting those 15% moves in a day, but it's a bit more consistent. Which is fine by me if it keeps going up in this real solid uptrend. This $1.10 level had been a key point in the past. You can see here, even when they first discovered Andy Well, $1.10 was really the sort of spike in the share price, and then it gapped up above $1.10 toward $1.30. I assume that was sort of a secondary discovery at Andy Well. So you find that when you have these large gaps on a chart, often that can be it acts in two ways. Either one is it acts as a resistance point, which you can see here it did. It broke up, got up to that $1.10 and pulled back again. But it can also have an effect of being almost a vacuum, which is filled very quickly. There weren't any buyers and sellers in this range originally. So the buyers and sellers in the past are what create historic sort of support and resistance levels. So you can see that vacuum effect where it just goes straight through that line. There are a few little bits and pieces as well. You can see this sort of historic high volume here in around $1.20, which is where we are now. So, that could also be acting as a little bit of resistance. I'm not sure if that was another capital raising or something. It may have been. But you see those old points on a chart, especially in relation to capital raisings, can act as small resistance levels as well. But I'm expecting to hear something about Deflector probably this week. Their quarterly production report is due. They've got a few other little exploration projects going on, and they're still very undervalued compared to a lot of other stocks in the sector. So I think they you just keep owning this and just keep riding it, and management's been a good one to back so far, and I think they've really got that long-term focus that a lot of the gold stocks don't. So I think they're a good one to own, and that's why they're one of the heavy parts of my portfolio.